Okay, what is your name and where are you from?
My name is Caroline, and this is my little sister Megan, and we're both from Texas.
Texas. You're like the second Caroline from Texas.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I'm not original.
What can you tell me about Texas?
There's great Tex-Mex, great queso. Pretty warm.
We've
What
got
else?
four main cities: San Antonio,
Yeah.
Austin, Dallas,
Yeah.
and Houston.
What about the Cowboys and the rodeos? Get to the good stuff.
The
Oh,
rodeos?
okay.
I've actually never been to
I've
a
never
rodeo.
been to rodeo.
Really?
either.
So
But-
y'all are like city slickers.
A little bit.
A little.
We live outside of Dallas, so we don't live
We
in
have-
anywhere too country.
We have seen the cattle go in Fort Worth.
And our next door neighbors do have horses.
Yes.
Like 4 of them have horses.
A lot of horses, yeah.
What about guns? What's the deal with the guns? out
We
there?
are not gun people, but we do know people who own guns.
A lot of most people you meet
Have
either
guns.
have a concealed carry or hunt or have some type of gun.
So we personally are not gun people,
No,
but we
not in our house.
We know a lot of
but
people with
We
guns.
know people who do.
Okay, your first impressions coming to New York.
I've
Well-
always loved New York. I always wanted to live here. I live here now. When I first came to New York, I was in love. I was with my parents. We stayed at Bryant Park. It was gorgeous. I was absolutely enthralled with all the people and all the different types of food and people. Second time I came to New York, I was by myself. I stayed in an apartment for free in Astoria, and I was scared shitless. But since
What did you say, Astoria?
I stayed in Astoria. It was just because I had to take the train all the way to
Oh,
Manhattan.
it's like all dark and stuff there.
It was
right?
dark. I didn't know where I
LA
was.
subways.
Yeah, it was, the grid wasn't there, like 1, 2, 3, so it was just confusing. But when I came back and moved here, I fell back in love with it.
All right, now what are some things you miss about Texas?
Cars.
Yeah.
Driving.
There's more like space, I would say, is like.
My family.
Yeah, and I currently still live in Texas, and my rent is going to be double here for like half the space.
Yeah.
What do you think about like all these people moving to Texas now? 'Cause
Moving
you
to
always hear
Texas?
about you always hear about people moving to Texas.
Yeah.
Even from New York, a lot of people are moving to Texas.
Yeah.
I think good for
You're
them.
doing a
it's
reverse
good.
migration right
Living
here.
is cheaper.
I think good for them.
I
Like,
really
make Texas cooler.
mainly have good things to say about Texas. Just
I
as,
do
like,
too.
The
I have good things to
climate
say about
and like
Texas.
space, so I think it's good. I'm glad Texas is growing. Austin especially is becoming also like a more diverse and welcoming place, so I think it's positive.
I
Okay.
think New York will never be dead, so if people are finding cool places in Texas, I'm cool with it.
Yeah.
I think things are starting to open up again.
Uh-huh.
I heard like concerts are gonna.
In April.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I heard. That's like the latest news. All right, can y'all do a New York accent?
We live in New York.
We're walking
We're
here.
walking here. We're a little cold. It's pretty chilly, but we didn't wear big coats.
All right, now is Facebook. You finished?
Yeah.
Okay, is Facebook still relevant?
No.
Why not?
It's only relevant to keep in contact with your aunt that you don't talk to.
I think it would always live, but it's gonna just.
It's not
simmer.
relevant, no.
It's just gonna exist.
All right, now is it easier to be a man or a woman?
Depends on where you are, but
It depends on who you are, but I would say a man.
Yeah.
What's some advantages that men
People take you seriously.
have? What are some advantages that women have?
People don't take you seriously,
Yeah.
so you can get
People
ahead without them
underestimate
noticing.
you, so
Yeah.
you can
So
like.
you can make mistakes and still get away with it.
Yeah, and people underestimate you, so when you
Yeah.
come in fully prepared, they're more blown away.
If you're
Oh,
willing
that's
to
right,
deal
because
with
they
condescending.
underestimate you. So when you're more
Yeah.
competent.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, if you're willing to deal with people being very condescending towards you, it can be an asset because when people are condescending towards you, you can just be better.
Prove them wrong, right?
Yeah.
Okay, now, how do you know somebody's crazy?
How do you know somebody's
Instinct.
crazy?
Intuition.
Yeah, gut feeling.
Have you run into a lot of crazy people here in New York? Or you just here in this park?
I wouldn't say crazy.
No?
Depends on
Different.
what type of crazy.
Uh-huh. Do you think if someone just like runs up to you and talks to you like without being invited, what's your reaction?
Depends on what they're saying to me.
It depends on what they're saying to me.
I
What
don't
about
mind
if it
people.
just doesn't make any sense at all? Though? 'Cause
I
there's
would
a lot of
normally
people that
think
do that
maybe
here.
they were a little out, just because of how many people just take drugs out in the open, I would maybe think they were a little out of their mind. So I'd walk away. I wouldn't engage. But if someone came up to me asking me a question, directions, being nice, I would be cool.
Yeah, that's right.
What about like those conspiracy theorists and stuff? I have people come up to me talking about globalists
So I think most of
and
the time,
New World Order.
I think most of the time they're in a cult, and you're not going to talk. There will be no helpful discussion coming out of that. So I'm good to not engage.
Okay, now, what brought you to New York?
Just like the city feel and all the people. I majored in music, so I had a dream of being in New York to perform, but it's really the feeling.
You?
Yeah, so.
Oh, you don't even live here.
No, I will
She's
be
going
moving
to.
here though.
You're gonna be moving here? What's
Yeah.
gonna bring you here?
Yeah, so I am going to be working in business, and so I'm getting into like finance tech, and this is a good area for it. And also, I want to eventually travel internationally, and New York's a good place to be for it.
All right, because it's going to Europe. It's got a lot of flights.
Yeah.
Okay, now if you were not in New York, where would you be? Or if you weren't moving to New York, where would you move to?
Where would I move to? Probably somewhere either Seattle or Colorado, I would say.
Why?
Um,
You don't mind the rain?
I like the rain. I would say I
rain.
want to be in a city for sure. So it'd probably be like Denver and Colorado, and then Seattle and Washington. And I would say mainly just I want to live in a city and like a bigger city, even just to try it out.
What about you?
I think I'd go to San Francisco.
Yeah, that's very similar actually,
Yeah.
to New York. But they've got much better weather. Though.
Yeah, that's true.
They've got really nice summers too. Have
But
you
it's
been
fun
in the
having
summer?
all the seasons.
Yeah. Okay, we're at 6 minutes. How much more time do you want to do on this?
We might need to go meet our friends, but
Okay.
thank you so. This
Y'all
is
wanna plug your social media?
sure.
Go for it.
Okay, so my TikTok is Caroline is tired. My Instagram is Caroline BANIEWICZ.
What can we expect to see on
Yeah,
your
go.
channel?
You can expect to see a bunch of stupid videos.
I don't really have social medias, so I'm gonna let her take those.
Yeah, just follow me.
Y'all want to
Yeah.
give a shout out to anybody?
Love you, mom.
Our mom.
You want to do